Appreciate you both being here, although I must say there is a growing trend within the DoD that my colleagues recognize as well, where people come here unprepared to be able to have the substantiated data that we require and that we've requested to make sure that we're able to get the answers and follow up. This is not the first time, so I hope that in future hearings you'll actually make sure that we have the subsequent data that we're trying to ask for, and all the algorithms and all the other data planning has actually gone forth. I want to start out with the fact that, kind of following along one of my colleagues, Mr. Gates' testimony, where he talks about how many people have been impacted negatively, whether it be by myocarditis, whether it be by ovarian issues, whatever the case may be, in addition to those who are unconstitutionally purged out of our military for religious and medical freedoms that they should have been afforded. So I just want to say, for the record, do either one of you have an opinion, an objective opinion, on whether or not you feel that medical and religious freedoms should be a key element for all members of our armed forces?
Congressman, DOD is committed to protect religious liberties. As you know, there's a process to request.
Actually, I do know that process, by the way, and I got to say, if it was actually to be true, would be impressive, because on average, they were able to adjudicate through 6 individual layers, per the Undersecretary of Readiness who is here, in less than 5 minutes. Imagine the ability to reach out to a minister, to a priest, to other religious figures who they actually are trying to get this counsel from, or looking at their independent medical background from historical medical data from their families, and being able to determine that in 5 minutes. I can tell you, as a person who now works for the federal government, we are not that efficient. If anything, it would take us about 5 weeks to be able to do so. But they were adjudicating these in less than 5 minutes. Do you think that they could adequately adjudicate a medical or religious exemption within 5 minutes or less?
Congressman, I'll have to defer to the services that executed that for us.
There has been an admission to the significant errors in the Defense Medical Epidemiology database that distorted the true numbers of medical encounters faced by service members. How can you be certain this issue has been satisfactorily rectified as to not continue to mislead the American public?
Thank you. I could take that. We do take data accuracy seriously. We know that data goes into making decisions about health care that's provided to service members. When we became aware of the programming error that was done in DMED, this was in January 2022, the error, by the way, was an analyst had used a count function instead of a sum function, which led to the data that existed between 2016 and 2020 to be corrupted. That error was immediately corrected. Since then, we've implemented both additional technical and functional controls. So on the technical side, they're doing additional QC steps. We've also implemented a functional team that's doing additional quality assurance checks on a periodic basis.
So this is for both of you, and I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this. Uniformed service members were expelled from the military and punished for standing up for their personal rights. How do we ensure that they are properly compensated for rightfully expressing these rights? How do we address the discrimination and mental drain that these individuals have faced and continue to face by things such as giving them a general discharge as opposed to honorable? Also, the DoD forcing individuals to pay back their bonuses where they did not separate from the military at their free will. They were forced out of the military. What would be your recommendations on how we would adequately compensate these individuals unconstitutionally purged? By the way, almost 9,000 who was unconstitutionally purged, in addition to the 41,000 recruitment deficit. It's pretty significant for the largest volunteer force in the world.
Congressman, as you probably know, all those service members have the right to appeal the discharge to the services.
Dr. Martinez-Lopez, we have seen where many of them had tried to appeal this, and in many cases wasn't actually given any answer whatsoever. Again, we can adjudicate things in 5 minutes whenever we're denying people their medical and freedom religious rights, but we can't actually adjudicate something quickly where it should be a simple thing that if you did not exit the service for something which was disciplinary and reasoning, not medical and religious freedom, but disciplinary and UCMJ Article 15 or above, court-martialing, then I don't understand how we can't at least acknowledge the fact that this is unconstitutionally purged and at least give them the opportunity under honorable discharge, as opposed to a general where in many cases this plagues them and follows on in their careers and in future jobs. But that still doesn't answer the bottom question, which is that these individuals, in my personal opinion, I know there's others on this committee that feel the same way, should be compensated. They should have their benefits restored. They should have their original rank reinstated for those who actually still want to serve our country, not a political agenda that is placed before us. And they should be given the rights that they were actually denied. Would you not at least admit to the fact that these people who are trying to serve, as you have served and as I have served, should be denied these rights or be given these rights?
Congressman, you know, we have processes and there are laws and processes in the system. I hope that the services will, you know, I'm confident the services are doing their best to exercise those procedures to look at each case in particular.
Well, Dr.
I'll have to defer
Martinez-Lopez,
to the services.
I appreciate that you have the confidence. I wish that I had that and shared that same confidence levels, but under the direction of someone like Secretary Lloyd Austin, I have very little when you talk about the dereliction of duty that has been placed forth and the prioritization of things that are not to the military armed forces' benefits. With that, I yield back.